Mr. Bryce, welcome.
Good morning. Electricity is the world's most important and fastest growing form of energy. The electricity sector is also the biggest single contributor to global greenhouse gas emissions. My third point, that right now at current rates of growth, about 4% per year, global electricity demand will rather double in just 18 years. So given those facts, what should we do? Well, first of all, we cannot rely on renewables alone. Numerous environmental groups and politicians are pushing for all renewable energy systems. But the hard truth is that these 100% renewable energy scenarios are nothing more than politically popular distractions. These scenarios are neither doable nor desirable. These scenarios ignore basic math and simple physics. Worse yet, they perpetuate what I call the vacant land myth. The idea that there's endless amounts of land out there in flyover country that's just waiting for all kinds of renewable energy infrastructure to be built on top of it. Nothing could be further from the truth. By my count, since 2015, some 225 government entities from New York to California have moved to reject or restrict wind energy projects. New York has a 50% renewable electricity mandate by 2030. But dozens of local governments in New York have either passed measures restricting or outright rejecting wind energy projects. You won't read about this in the New York Times, but the towns of Yates and Somerset, as well as 3 upstate New York counties, Erie, Orleans, and Niagara, have spent the last 3 years fighting the proposed 200-megawatt Lighthouse Wind Project, which aims to put dozens of wind turbines near the shores of Lake Ontario. New York's offshore wind plans are being vigorously opposed by the state's commercial fishing groups. California has a 60% renewable electricity mandate by 2030. But in 2015, the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors banned wind projects in the county. In February of this year, San Bernardino County, the largest county by area in America, banned large-scale renewable projects throughout much of the county. San Bernardino County is the home to 2 of the largest thermal solar projects in America, Abengoa Mojave and Ivanpah. Today, California has less installed wind capacity than it did in 2013. Last year, high-voltage transmission projects designed to transport renewable energy across New Hampshire and Arkansas were both canceled due to state-level opposition. In short, renewable energy alone cannot provide the vast scale of energy that the U.S. and global economies demand at prices consumers can afford. So what is the best approach? In my view, it is end-to-end, natural gas to nuclear. These sources provide the best no-regret strategy because they are low-carbon, scalable, and affordable. Thanks to innovations in the shale revolution, the U.S. has become the world's biggest and most important natural gas producer. Natural gas helps helps decarbonization because it emits half as much CO2 during combustion as coal and about a third less than fuel oil or diesel fuel. Natural gas has helped cut U.S. CO2 emissions, which in 2017 were at their lowest level since 1992. Last year, the U.S. exported LNG to 30 different countries, including Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates. It's an open secret in Houston that Saudi Arabia is now seeking a long-term LNG supply contract with American companies. What does the U.S. natural gas sector need in terms of federal policy? In my view, nothing. Where federal policymaking is needed, and needed in a big way, is in the nuclear energy sector. There is no credible pathway toward large-scale decarbonization that doesn't include large increments of new nuclear capacity. Congress should develop a strategy that includes preserving existing plants and nurturing the development and commercial deployment of the next generation of smaller, safer, cheaper reactors. Federal government should support nuclear energy because it is emissions-free, has extraordinarily high power density, meaning it requires very little land, and it helps diversify the electric grid. Let me be clear, the nuclear industry faces myriad challenges. Opposition from some of the biggest environmental groups in America, including Sierra Club and the Natural Resources Defense Council, are among them. Many existing reactors cannot operate at a profit. New reactors cost way too much. And of course, Congress continues to dawdle when it comes to the issue of nuclear waste storage and disposal. But I will reiterate my point. There is no reasonable or affordable pathway to decarbonization of the electric sector here in the United States or around the world that does not include big chunks of new nuclear capacity. If Congress wants to foster innovation in nuclear energy, Republicans and Democrats will have to forge significant, long-term, and by that I mean decadal commitments toward making that goal a reality. Thank you.